What do you do if you have too many ideas? Welcome people to another video. Today we're gonna talk about having many ideas, being really creative, wanting to do a lot of stuff. So, do you feel overwhelmed by a flood of brilliant ideas? And are you paralyzed when you don't know where to start? And can you turn overwhelming creativity into a powerful force? Today, people, we're gonna talk about my favorite subject, creativity and perfectionism. Today we're gonna cover what creativity really is, the link between creativity and perfectionism, and how to be practical and at peace with your creative sense. Okay, what is creativity? There's a personality test called the Big Five model, where there are 5 dimensions of personality. And it goes like this, like OCEAN is an acronym. Openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. Today we're talking about the first initial, the O, the openness, which is the trait that relates to creativity, to imagination, to being curious, to being open-minded, to have unconventional thinking, to experimentation, to abstract thinking, and so on and so forth. These people who are high on this trait, high in openness, these are the artists and the entrepreneurs. Why? Because these people create. That's the definition of creativity. Creation. You create, you make stuff. That's it. Whether that's music, whether that's business, whether that's clothing, you name it. It doesn't matter. It's creativity. Okay. What's the problem with this type of people? I am quite high, not really high in neuroticism, somewhere mid-high. And I have plenty of ideas. That's the problem if you are high in openness. I don't want to think about people who are high in openness more than me on this scale, on this street, on this spectrum. I don't want to think about them. You have a stream of ideas going in your mind all the time. And it's so hard because you don't know which one to pick. You don't know which one is the perfect. Again, we get into this paradox of choice. Which idea is perfect? What I create? What creation is the best creation? What creation is the most perfect creation? If you are high in openness and you are a perfectionist with high standards, it's a nuclear bomb because you are so overwhelmed, impulsive, you have plenty of ideas, you don't stick with a routine, you fail to complete projects, you don't do what you said you did, you get distracted easily. It's awful, man. It's awful. For those people who are there and resonate with what I'm talking right now, I feel you. So let's delve a little bit deeper in what means to be a creative person, high in openness person, and to be a perfectionist and to have this perfectionist mindset. Well, you get the high standards for creativity. I mean, you always want to get to the best idea. You always want to get to the best product. You always want to create the best piece of art. And at the moment you finish it, you are going to tell yourself that it's a piece of shit, which is not true. But you have that stream of ideas always going in your mind. And sometimes it could be quite chaotic. Not quite. It is awful. It is chaotic. It's a disaster sometimes. Also, these people might have this fear of imperfection due to emotional investment. I mean, I worked on a book, for example. I wrote a book for 2 years and I get so attached to it and no one will buy it. I'm gonna beat myself to death because no one buys it, and I put so much effort and I focused all my creativity in that novel. Why? Why no one is buying it? There's that fear of imperfection, of not making things perfect or not having the best idea. Not having the best idea. Think about musicians or think about any creative endeavor, but especially musicians, the composers, they compose all the time, all the time, all the time, to keep the engine going, to not go, how do you call it, to not go stale, not go stale, I don't know, but to keep the engine going, to have that practice, that consistency, because this is what keeps them alive. And though the musicians who are the best are those who have the target in mind of creating the best piece of art every time, not for popularity or, I don't know, for fame or whatever reason. They have this mindset and they have this goal. Man, I'm going to create the best piece of art. Okay? What else? Broad range of interests and goals, multiple areas simultaneously. Oh yeah. I remember when I wanted to travel the world and have a business and write a book and meet new people and go to the gym and read a list of 1,000 books and whatever. It's hard. It's hard. You gotta pick. I'm going to make a full video about how to pick and how I used to pick things. You're going to pick things when you are forced. But if you have too much freedom, well, that's nasty. That's really, really nasty. Again, I don't wish people to be in that area. And self-critical nature can fuel perfectionism. Well, I mean, if you're a creative person and you're a perfectionist, by definition, or by nature, or by genetics, you have this critical nature. You have this inner voice that always is saying to you, what you did is not good enough. You are not good enough. Create more, do more, do more, do more. Hustle. Come up with the best idea. And at the moment you think that's the best idea, another thought gets into your mind. Oh man, that's such a bad idea. Get my point? You know what I want to say here? People with with a lot of creativity in their minds have the struggle to choose, have the struggle to be consistent on only one path. Because the grass is greener on the other side, the other ideas are much more better than what you have right in front of you. It's like relationships. When you have an argument with your partner, you're going to tell to yourself, hopefully not, that, oh, that other girl or that other boy would have been better. But that's not the case most of the cases. How to reconcile openness and perfectionism. So you're a perfectionist, you want to do a lot of stuff. You feel like you're going to lose your minds. Your mind, not minds. You're going to lose your minds, or maybe you have many minds if you are a creative person. What do you do? What's to be done? What the heck should you do when you have too many ideas and when you're extremely self-critical with yourself? What do you do? You set realistic goals, chunking, manageable tasks, so you don't feel overwhelmed. You gotta start small. If you're pursuing one goal, or if you're doing one stuff, stick one thing. If you wanna, I don't know, write a book, try for a week, give yourself permission, or command yourself, or tell yourself, do whatever is necessary, even as an experiment. Okay, man, for 1 week, I'm going to write on my book. I know that I will have a lot of thoughts, distracting thoughts, that it won't be good enough. But for this week, I have to do it to see what happens. Do that. It will be hard if you are high in openness. It will be hard, but stand your ground, man. Stand your ground. Priorities, again. Let's face it, if you don't have a job, if you don't have food, if you don't have money, don't be an artist and say, oh, I can live without money. You need money. I mean, you need a job, whether I don't care if that job sucks, but you can't think about painting something if you don't have money. You won't eat the painting. I know it sounds, now that I verbalized it, It sounds dumb even for me, but it's all about priorities, okay? It's all about priorities. Create a routine. This can ground your creativity. You can see the progress, so track your progress. It's easy to get lost in the details. It's easy to to lose your focus. It's so distracting. It's so distracting and unsettling if you don't do something in the time frame you said you're doing it. As I said before, being a creative person makes you, I mean, you have that mind with a lot of ideas all the time thinking about a lot of ideas and creating. But you got to set time and place when to do stuff. This is why routine is so important. If you are at your job, do your job. And in your spare time, split that time for chores and 2 hours for 1 hour for chore and 2 hours. I'm just giving numbers here. And 2 hours for being the most chaotic person in the world. Okay? And also, if you stretch this for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, you're gonna see your progress. I've always recommended in these videos to write things down because you're gonna see the actual progress. You're gonna see it written down, not in your mind, because your mind is gonna play tricks on you. I hope you know that till now. Okay, it's time limit. This goes here. What happened? Something happened. Okay. Accept imperfection, even as an experiment. Yeah. Write a bad book. Write a bad piece of, draw a bad piece of art. Write a bad piece of music. Give yourself permission to be imperfect. Accept imperfection. Don't beat yourself to death for the tiniest mistake. Maybe no one will notice. No one will notice. And you got to accept that imperfection. This is why I said here as an experiment. Set a time 1 day a week, I'm going to experiment. And I won't be attached to anything. Or 2 times a week or 1 hour a week. It doesn't matter. But you got to experiment with yourself many times in this life, not just in this problem, in the creativity problem, to see what works and what doesn't. That's it. This is what researchers are doing. They're experimenting. They have a basis. They have some theory. They say it might happen this or it might happen that. They don't have certainty and they just do it. Okay, it didn't work out. Yeah, we found out that this problem doesn't work out. Simple as that. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Again, accept imperfection. Accept yourself. Be compassionate towards yourself, because if you made a mistake, it's not the end of the world. If you have many ideas, it's not the end of the world. If you missed ideas, if you missed things in life, it's not the end of the world. Don't beat yourself to death. Practice that self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, because time will pass. How would you like it to pass? Being grateful, being content with what you've done, being joyful, being pleased, or being with a lot of frustration and regret in your heart, which weighs a lot. Trust me, that weighs a lot. Regret and frustration. How do you reconcile these, the creativity and perfectionism, support group, and feedback all the time? Get out of your head. Don't be so arrogant. Don't be so egotistical. Get out of your own way. I really like this expression. I'm messing this all the time. Get your head out of your ass. Ask people. Have some trustworthy people. If you don't have them, go find someone. Find a mentor. Pay someone. Ask your parents. Ask your sister. Whatever. Get some feedback. We are human, we are social creatures as human. We cannot live all by ourselves. We need others. Simple as that. We need others. In relationships, at job, in creative stuff, and you get the point of it. Mindfulness, and the last point, mindfulness, meditation, prayer. If you just Google uh, things, the benefits of meditation and prayer, you are going to see there are a lot of benefits. It's going to make you more resilient, it's going to make you more at peace, it's going to help you concentrate, it's going to develop more self-compassion towards yourself. You're not going to be so reactive, you're going to be so more grateful. I strongly recommend people not to sleep with their phones, but instead stay for 5 minutes. Everyone has 5 minutes in a day to pray or to meditate, because it will cluster the thoughts, so to speak. I guess that's the expression. You can observe your thoughts, you'll be more at peace if you do it on a regular basis. Don't expect results in 3 days or 1 week. It will take time. It's a skill. Everything is a skill. I guess that's it for today. So I hope you liked it, and I hope I shed some light in this area, and especially for perfectionists, because on this channel we're talking about perfectionism, have this natural inclination to be creative. See ya in the next video.